Namanda, 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 Namanda.
Good morning. Where shall I start? Okay, here we go. Good morning. Welcome to today's December Shotsuki Monthly Memorial and Bodhi Day Service. My name is Howard Shintani, and I'll be your chairperson for today. Okay, Reverend Fujimoto will read the names of those who have passed away in the month of December. Those observing the monthly memorial for loved ones, please come forward and offer incense.
Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Good morning. How about now? Is that better? Ohayou gozaimasu. Okay. Okay. It's always a touching time to have our monthly memorial, the Shotsuki Service, and families come and supporting each other, remembering people they have lost. So I appreciate everyone's attendance. So please come up and oshoko during the reading of the names. Ago, Aiko, Akashi, Tetsu, Asada, Masae, Brangton, Neil, Cohen, Florence R., DiStefano, Carl, DiStefano, Cyril, Enomoto, Kyuzo. Yeah, you can come up now. Okay. Fujishima, Soichi, Fujiwara, Jiro, Fujiwara, Yoshinari, Goto, Rokuzo, Hamasaki, Seiichiro, Haraguchi, Ikuhei, Haramaki, Mite, Hasegawa, Kikumatsu, Hashimoto, George, Imazumi, Shozo, Imose, Tome, Isoda, Kohei, Iwahashi, James, Iwataki, Kosaku, Iwataki, Joe, Masajiro, Kataoka, Kato, Masaru, Kihara, Fuyoka, Kobu, Sennichi, Kuge, Aiko, Marubayashi, Bunju, Maruyama, Fujiko, Matsumoto, Fusa, Matsuoka, Bunji, Matsuura, George, Miyamori, Fujiko, Morino, George, Moriya, Heihachiro, Muramoto, Roy, Nakagawa, Tetsuya, Nakagawara, Tetsuzo, Nakamura, Matsushiro, Nakano, Hiroko, Nakano, Yukuse, Nakao, Chuichi, Nakao, Mikino, Nakashima, Sahi, Nakaso, William Saburo, Nakayama, Yoneko, Negi, Jotaro, Nishi, Momoyo, Nomura, Haruko, Ogata, Sute, Oye, Tayo, Ota, Gary Hiromichi, Roraba, Umeko, Sadamori, Kazuto, Sakai, Toki, Sakamoto, Jerry, Shimizu, Tajiro, Shimono, Grace, Shiota, Keiji, Hiroishi, Mitsuyo, Sueyasu, Jutaro, Sugihara, Junko, Sugiyama, Yoshiteru, Sueyasu, Naomi, Sueyasu, Rose, Takada, Koume, Takayama, Ryukichi, Takayanagi, Hideo, Tashima, Hidehiko, Tashima, Ryukichi, Tashiro, Saga, Tashiro, Yoneo, Terao, Mary, Terao, Shigeo. Honda, Arlene Setsuko, Tsuchiya, Tsujimoto, Masami, Uchiyama, Hideo, Archie, Umene, Komei, Ushijima, Kunitaro, Ushijima, Sugino, Ushijima, Yasuki, Yamagami, Eunice, Yamagishi, Makoto, Yamamichi, Isamu, Yamasaki, Takeo, Yamashita, Jeffrey, Yamashita, Yoshino, Yatabe, Mitsue, Yonekura, Kyuzo, Yoshimura, Minokichi, Yoshiwara, Eiichi. Are we missing a name? If there are any additions or corrections, please notify the office. These are the Shotsuki names for the month of December. Thank you.
We will now have the Sambujo on page 24 and 25, followed by the reading of the Kyobyokumon.
Yobyakumon. Today, on this occasion of the Shotsuki Service for the month of December, members of our temple families have reverently come before Amida Buddha in memory of their beloved. With deepest reverence and thankfulness for the all-embracing wisdom and compassion of Amida, we reaffirm the three homages. Namuke Butsu, Namuke Ho, Namuke So. I go to the Buddha for guidance. I go to the Dharma for guidance. I go to the Sangha for guidance. Please repeat the Nembutsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanga, 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 Namanga.
Now we have the Sutra chanting Amida Kyo on page 103. 103.
ho kokura kokudo shoju nyose kudoku shogun ushari horibu kokudo dosa tengaku okon niji chuya rokuji niyo mandara ke koku shujo doi shotan koi e koku joju yoke kuyo taho juman dokun sakuri jihiji tento hon koku bon jihi jogyo shari ho kokura kokudo shoju nyose kudo shokon ushi shari hori kokujo ushuju kinyo shashiki shincho yakko jaku omu shari aryo binga gumyo shicho seisho shucho choya rokuji suiwa ke on on nencho gokon go liki shibo daigon asho do bunyo se toho kodo shujo monze onni kai shitsu nembutsu o nenso shari o no matsui shichu jitsu zenzai o sho 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 ishaga ibu kokudo musan makushu shari ho kobu kokudo shobu sammakudo shimyo kakyo bujitsu ze sho shucho kaise amida butsu yuryo on sendu enge shosa shari o hibu kokudo mifu suido shoho goju yuho namo suimi myo on jinyo yakusenju kaku doji kusa monze onsha kaiji nenjo nenbutsu nenpo nenso shishi shari ho obu kokuro shoju nyoze kudoku shogon
Please stand for the Gatha Nembutsu 1 on page 169 and remain standing for the reading of the three treasures on page 8.
Truth number 1. Hard is it to be born into human life, now we are living it. Difficult is it to hear the teachings of the Blessed One, now we hear it. If we do not realize the truth in this life, when will it be realized? Let us reverently take refuge in the 3 treasures of the truth. I take refuge in the Buddha. May we absorb ourselves in the principle of the way to enlightenment and awaken in ourselves the supreme will. I take refuge in the Dharma. May we be submerged in the depths of the doctrine and gain wisdom as deep as the ocean. I take refuge in the Sangha. May we live in harmony in the great assembly as disciples of Buddha and be freed from all hindrances, becoming units of true accord in the life of harmony, in a spirit of universal oneness, freed from the bondage of selfishness. Even through myriad ages of kalpas, hard is it to hear such an excellent, profound, and wonderful doctrine. Now we are able to hear and receive it. Let us thoroughly understand the true meaning of Tathagata's teachings. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda, Namanda, Namanda. Please be seated.
Okay, now Reverend Fujimoto will give a Dharma talk.
Good morning again. Right. You know, as I get accustomed to my hearing aids, the chanting sounds different to me. So I can't tell if I'm hitting the right pitches or not. It seems like a completely different person sitting next to me here. But the good part is, when I turn and I hear all of you, it feels like there's 150 people here, you know. So I just close my eyes and we have a crowd here. So it's very nice. So today, together with Shotsuki Service, we have our Bodhi Day Service. So I thought I would share a Bodhi Day talk and connect it to the Amida Kyo that we just chanted. Okay, so every year we come and observe the Bodhi Day Service, and we recognize the enlightenment of Prince Siddhartha as he became the Buddha, right? So 2,500 years ago, continuing to ripple. His awakening continues to affect people through history, through cultures, through generations, and touching each of us here now. So a very special event that continues to reverberate and then finally reaching us all the way here in Alameda, California. So we just chanted the Amida Kyo. We always chant the Amida Kyo during our Shotsuki service, one of our 3 Jodo Shinshu Sutras, and it's the smaller sutra. And in the Amida Kyo, it gives the descriptions of the Pure Land, okay, the realm of enlightenment that Shakyamuni Buddha awakened to. So we come to our own questions. What is awakening? What is enlightenment? What is the Pure Land? And these are difficult questions, right? So hard to just come to a concluding answer. We think about them, then we shrug our shoulders, and we go get some coffee and a donut, right? And this is why we eat so much at our temples, okay? Because we don't really conclude. We don't conclude. So lots of times we come to discussions on Buddhism, and I'll do a presentation, someone else will do a presentation, and then often someone there says, what you're saying, what Buddhism is saying, are things that I've thought about or felt for a long, long time. I'm not sure what it is, but something about Buddhism resonates with me, and they feel good about it. They're not exactly sure to be able to grasp it or to vocalize it, verbalize it, but they feel something that is connecting and grounding. So I think it's important to recognize Buddhism is not a faith are not a belief, but a recognition and an awareness of the truths and the reality that surrounds all of us. And it's familiar to us because it's been in front of us all our lives. Please join me in Gassho. The lotus flowers in the lakes, large as chariot wheels, are blue-colored with blue splendor, yellow-colored with yellow splendor, red-colored with red splendor, white-colored with white splendor, and they are most exquisite and purely fragrant. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namo Amida Butsu. Namanda Naman. So this is a portion of the Amida Kyo that we just chant. Chi chu renge dainyo shadin shoshiki shoko oshiki oko shakushiki shakko byakushiki byakko mi myoko ketsu. So this description of the Pure Land, the realm of enlightenment, in that verse, it's saying, what is blue radiates in blue splendor. What is yellow radiates in yellow splendor. What is red radiates in red splendor. What is white radiates in white splendor. And it kind of can be thought of as describing this very beautiful images of lotus blossoms in the Pure Land. But it's saying things are just as they are and beautiful as they are. Okay, your car shines, my car shines, your house shines, my house shines. Ron shines, radiates his own beauty like only Ron can. Okay, Doug shines with only Doug's beauty, radiating just as he can, and each of us radiates only as we can. So individually, we have our own beauty, and so this is another way to interpret how this description of the Pure Land, the realm of enlightenment. So this enlightenment is all around us, but we are not able to see the beauty there because we are so absorbed in ourselves. Okay, so we're not always looking out purely. We're holding something back. We're thinking about, what do I have to do next? What's in it for me? I'm getting hungry, and this all self-concern. Okay, so each of us, we need to transform from someone who cannot see this interconnected reality that's always there to someone who can. Okay, someone who's not awakened to become someone who's awakened. And so Prince Siddhartha went through this transformation, and each Bodhi Day we might talk about, remember parts of his story. So one of the stories that we come to often is the story of the four gates, and a lot of us remember this, and it's kind of nice to remind ourselves of this story. So his father, the king, wanted to surround Siddhartha with all the pleasures of royal life, benefits of being the prince, and so protected him. Real life was hidden from him. Okay, so as a child, this is not so difficult. He's immersed in study, sports. He had the best teachers, the best coaches, and all of these things. So he lived this very secluded life in the palace. And as he got older, it's a little bit more difficult. He wanted to go out and explore. Still, he had a lot of things to distract him. Beautiful women in the palace, nice wines, musicians, talented people entertaining him. Anytime his thoughts turned serious, the king would distract him with other things, right? But he wanted to see more, so he went out into the kingdom, and he thought all these ugly things of life had been hidden from him, and he was able to see. So he went out to the eastern gate of the palace with his attendant Chana. So they're riding horses, went out to the eastern gate, and during his trip, this blind man dressed in rags stumbled out, and the court people tried to push him out of the way quickly, but the prince saw him. So, who is that? What's wrong with that man? And Shana told him, oh, he is blind. He cannot see. And so he sees for the first time a blind man. Right? And some of these ugly things that we don't care to look at, we kind of stumble upon them. We're protected. When we grow up, our parents wanted to protect us, but little by little, we see these realities of life, right? So we go through the same stages that Prince Siddhartha went through. So our own parents wanted us to be happy, to laugh, to see the amazing, wonderful things in this world, in this life, and kind of protecting us. They didn't want us to know about a lot of these uglier things. They wanted us to enjoy life as much as possible. Okay? So the man was starving and cold, moaning and crying, and it never occurred to the prince that someone could be blind and unable to see. So he had finally seen one of these realities of life. So it made him think, and he thought a little more, decided to go out again. So he went out, Chana, let's go explore some more. And so they went out the southern gate. And so he saw this man rolling in the streets, suffering from the plague. His skin was an awful color, never seen something like that. So the prince jumped off his horse and ran over and was holding this man with the plague. Chana saying, don't touch him, don't even touch him. And he says, what's wrong with him? Oh, he's become ill. Many people can become ill. And there's all types of illnesses in this world. So you never know who can become ill. The prince says, even me. Yes, even the prince can become ill. And so he saw this other ugly aspect of life. On another outing, he went out the western gates, and he's riding again with Chana, and they see over there a funeral procession, the wagon. There's a dead body being carried. Family is walking behind the wagon and crying and mourning. Okay, so this is the first time that he had seen a dead person. Chana, what happened to that person? That person has died. So. And they have these funeral services to recognize and honor him. So then he's thinking even more. He had thought about it. He'd seen old age, sickness, death, all these things. So it makes him think, what is life? What is death? How can I bear losing someone that I love, someone close to me? How can I face my own death? So all these things he's coming to think about. What is life? What is my life? How can I be satisfied chasing wealth and pleasure when I know there's more to life that I haven't seen enough of? So he went out another gate, continuing his journey, went out the northern gates with Chana. This time he saw a holy man. The man was in his robes, left his life of a family man and trying to find the truths of life. And as the prince looked at him, his face was very peaceful. He had very simple clothes on. And so he was struck by this image, and knowing that he made a choice to find some of the true truths of life that not everyone has seen or is become aware of. So he wanted to know these deeper truths of life. So he left his kingdom and snuck off on his own, changed, got rid of his robes, cut his hair, and he wandered off alone, dressed in rags, begged for food, listened to other wise men, sat in meditation, and did all these things. In his meditation, Siddhartha asked, what am I? Do I have something permanent in me? He examined his body, skin, muscle, bones, blood. He also examined his mind, sensation, conception, volition, consciousness. He realized everything in his body and mind was constantly moving and changing and flowing. Nothing was permanent. So he sat in meditation, thinking of all these things, And he tried so hard to sit in this meditative posture, didn't even eat or sleep or bathe. His body was starved. You could see the bones showing. His skin looked like leather, just holding his bones in, right? But his mind didn't become clearer. He became more confused, more distracted, getting weaker and weaker. Finally, he became very close to death and lost consciousness. And at that time, young maiden from the village saw the prince. Oh, he needs food. I'll bring him some food. And see, she fed him this rice porridge. And he gained his strength back a little bit. And he decided that this is not the way to learn the truth. So as a prince, he had this life of excess. And in his meditation, he had this other life of having absolutely nothing. So it must be something in the middle, this middle path that Buddhism talks about. So he bathed again, reset himself, ate a little bit more, regained his strength, and he placed himself at the base of the Bodhi tree, just like the Bodhi tree we have here. Okay. So he knew previous life as a prince, material wealth, privilege, and no answers there. And then he come to his ascetic life, seclusion, starvation, meditation, no answers there either. The truth lies somewhere in between. So he sat with his energy, life energy back after eating and bathing, and he could see clearly the suffering that everyone faces, the causes of suffering, the way to address this suffering. So these became clear to him, and this is his awakened awareness. So when he first came to this awakening, he thought, this is too much. How can you share this? How can you explain something so deep, so vast? And he didn't think he could do it. So at first he thought, I'll just keep this to myself. So he's sitting and he had awakened, but it's impossible to share. I cannot share this. So he's kind of debating within himself. Can I share it? I don't think I can. People will not understand, but I should share it. I should. Okay, so finally he thought there are people that would understand. Some are quick to learn. Some are not so quick to learn. And I was thinking of all these different types of people in the world. How can he help to address? So seeing this is his mind of compassion, right? Changing the Buddha's decision. So becoming awakened is the wisdom, but to share it is the compassion. And this is why we always talk about these go hand in hand, the wisdom and the compassion. One without the other is incomplete. Okay? So as his decision to share the Dharma completes wisdom and compassion, and he goes out to share what he had awakened to. First he comes to the 3 other monks that he was traveling with. They had left him because he decided to eat and bathe and quit. So they thought, he's not focused. They thought he had left his path to find the truth. But as he spoke to them, they realized that he had awakened to something special. So they listened to him. They were his first students. And then he gathered other people and other people who would listen to him. Okay. So this begins the movement of wisdom and compassion. Okay. And so this is what is known as the beginning of the turning of the wheel of the Dharma. We have this image of the Dharma wheel. Okay, up on our doors, you see it here and there. And so reminding us of this wheel of Dharma that is moving from the time of his awakening to each of us, reaching us here. Okay. I think we are able to recognize that the Dharma comes to us, and then it comes through us, and touching others. So as we work at the temple, the Dharma that we have come to glimpse, maybe we don't know it completely, but we know portions of it, the sharing portion, the compassion portion, and we share this as we can with our fellow members, with our families, people that we have come to share our lives with. Okay. So for those of us trying to know what awakening or enlightenment or the Pure Land is, we come to know that it's a process and not a conclusion. When we try to think of it as a conclusion, we don't know how to respond. We don't know what to say, right? We think we should be able to come to a conclusion. We awaken, so, oh, I get it. This is what it is. But it's not that. It's a process, okay? And this process brings us in touch with ourselves, with life itself. This interdependent reality. We become aware of that, and deeper and deeper. And each time we listen to the Dharma, our lives become deeper and deeper without conclusion. Okay? We enter this process and we can learn to be okay, to be in this process, not waiting for this aha conclusion, but to accept and appreciate and marvel at this process that we're all a part of. Okay? We can see people. If you think of wisdom and compassion, sometimes there's wisdom and the compassion is lacking, right? We see people, I remember one article, lady was talking about two people in the social hall drinking tea and they're debating something about Buddhism, not realizing that they're in the way. People can't pass through because they're too busy talking about the Dharma, right? So they think they know something about wisdom, but jamani naru, right? They're just right in the way of everything. And so they're not aware, they're not compassionate enough to look at the needs, recognize these needs of people right in the same room, right? Sometimes there are people who are compassionate, but they think, yeah, I'll help out, I'll do stuff, I'll cook chicken, but I won't come here. I want to help, but, leave out the wisdom part of it. So it becomes incomplete. Some people have some wisdom, but it's incomplete if the compassion is not there hand in hand. Some people have compassion, but if the wisdom is not there, it's incomplete. Okay? And we see that here and there at our temples, on the streets, at the bank, wherever. Okay? So by joining in, becoming part of this process, conclusion loses its importance. Conclusion loses its value, and we open ourselves to everything. Wisdom and compassion enter. Now we get it. It enters, and it becomes part of this ongoing process. And this is what the life of Nembutsu is about. Okay. Please join me in Gassho. The lotus blossoms in the lakes, large as chariot wheels, blue-colored with blue splendor, yellow-colored with yellow splendor, red-colored with red splendor, white-colored with white splendor. They are most exquisite and purely fragrant. Namo Amida Kyo. Namo Amida Kyo. Namo Amida Kyo. Namanda. Thank you.
Thank you, Reverend Regimoto, for your message. Please stand for Gatha Ondokusan on page 220.
Yo
seated.
Okay. I'd like to thank you for those who helped with the altar preparation and with the service, Reverend Fujimoto, and then Brian Piper with YouTube in the back room, and altar flowers with Jackie and Dorothy, organist Lenny, of course, and all those who brought refreshments for today's service. Is there any newcomers today? Okay. Okay. Let's see. Okay, we have announcements. Next Sunday, December 14th, we have a family service and birthday Sunday. Okay, and then and then we're having our annual temple general meeting after the service. So please come for that. December 21st, family service and Ask Reverend Dennis. December 28th, no service. Holiday time. Wednesday, December 31st, Joya and end of service, end of year service at 3 p.m. And Thursday, January 1st, New Year's Day service at 10 a.m. Any other announcements? Somebody wants to say? No? We're all good? Oh. There will be an Oppo meeting after the refreshments, so at like 11:30, 11:30ish or so. Okay. Okay. Thank you for attending today's morning service. Please come up to offer incense and join us for refreshments in the social hall. Thank you very much. Really? Yeah.